Well, let's stay in the US, and developing news this morning. US President Barack Obama has announced that Budget Director Jack Lew will take over as his new Chief of Staff.
Now, this appointment comes after the former Chief of Staff, Bill Daley, announced his shock resignation just hours ago. President Obama praised Mr. Daley's service as his Chief of Staff.
So no one in my administration has had to make more important decisions more quickly than Bill. And that's why I think this decision was difficult for me. Naturally, when Bill told me his plans to go back to Chicago, I asked him who I thought could fill his shoes. He told me that there was one clear choice, and I believe he's right. So today I'm pleased to announce that Jack Lew has agreed to serve as my next Chief of Staff.
It's President Obama speaking at the White House less than an hour ago. We're joined now by our North America correspondent, Craig McMurtry, also from the American capital. Craig, good morning. It appears this resignation by Bill Daley took the President by surprise.
Yes, certainly Barack Obama indicated as much. It wasn't a surprise in the sense that Mr Daley had made it clear that he didn't want to serve beyond this term, that he was going to see the President through to the re-election period. But he brought it forward. According to the President, Mr Daley thought about it during the Christmas holiday break and effectively gave us notice last week. Barack Obama says he asked him to think on it for a couple of days, but as you've just heard, Bill Daley decided he wanted to go to spend more time with his family, etc. Jack Lew is a handy replacement for Barack Obama. He's very well known in this town, has worked on the Hill, member of the Clinton administration, was a special advisor to President Clinton, a very high-level administrator at the State Department, currently Barack Obama's budget director, but most importantly, he's generally held by most observers in this town as someone who has very strong connections on Capitol Hill, and given the rancour and the partisan divide we saw many times last year, that sort of connection, being able to reach out to people in Congress, will be very important to the Obama administration in the next few months.
It will, and arguably the position of Chief of Staff, Craig, is even more powerful than that of the Vice President in determining who simply gets access to the Oval Office.
That's right. I mean, the Chief of Staff really is the gatekeeper, the defender. I mean, we saw in Rahm Emanuel somebody who was prepared to be an attack dog, a political player at times, stepping back behind the scenes at other times. Bill Daley, far less so. He was much more of an administrator, a quiet figure behind the scenes. He came in for a lot of criticism over the battles that we saw last year in 2011, over increasing the deficit, for example, and over various other battles during the year where the administration struggled to make headway with House Republicans, so now we see him leaving, Jack Lew coming in. Big job for Mr Lew, but today he certainly got a vote of confidence from the President.
And finally, Craig, a story we're covering this morning as well, that's the death sentence given down to the American man of Iranian descent in Iran for spying. Has there been any reaction in America to that decision?
Yeah, from the State Department and the White House, as you would expect, strong condemnation of the death sentence, denials that this man, Amir Mirzai Hekmati, a 28-year-old former US Marine, was ever a member of the CIA or working for the CIA. US authorities deny that. His family, based in Arizona, says he went back to visit his grandmother. And also US officials at the State Department and the White House are calling for Swiss diplomats to be allowed access to him, for a lawyer to be allowed access to him. But this 28-year-old finds himself the latest pawn in this increasingly difficult and rancorous relationship between Tehran and Washington.
OK, Craig McMurtry in Washington, thank you.